Hey you guys, what's up? Thanks so much for tuning in today's video. So I'm finally back with this declutter of my blushes, bronzers, and highlighters. Now I was stalling on this one a little bit because I just love blushes, bronzers, and highlights. For the most part, most of my blushes, bronzers, and highlighters is stored in these two drawers. I do have some scattered throughout my collection, like all over the place, like in that holder over there, but for the most part, I want to concentrate on these two drawers. I just went ahead and pulled the drawers out so we can get a better look at what we're dealing with, but I think the first order of business, honestly, would be to actually separate them into the different piles of blushes, bronzers, and highlighters, just so I know what I'm working with. And as I told you guys before, the drawer that we emptied, which used to be my powders up here, that's gonna go for like the blushes. We'll do highlighters separate and we'll do bronzers separate, but we will be going through this. We'll be decluttering some and then we'll be organizing it. I got lip products in here that don't belong in these drawers. I think that was just for me wanting to get it off my desk, so I threw it in here. This is just a box. Alright, so I did create some piles, but I do want to talk about some products that's in boxes here. These I'm going to definitely keep. These are loose highlighters, which I don't really use highlighters like that, but these are two that was part of the Jackie Ironite Artist Couture collection. I have LeBron's and the Peach, definitely hanging on to those, and this was a loose highlighter that ColourPop and Makeup Shayla had came out with, and I think this one I actually did use. I think the LeBron's and the Peach I didn't use, but this one I did use. I have this loose highlighter from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I got this in a BoxyCharm when they did their Anastasia Beverly Hills takeover box, and just looking at the color, I've never opened this. Or maybe I did open it because it is peeled back, so I don't remember. This is in the shade Peach Fizz. I did swatch it a little bit right there. This is nothing that I'm too excited for, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. Another product that I got from BoxyCharm, this is the Eloise Get Gleaming Body Glow Illuminator. And I'm not really a body glow kind of person. I went ahead and swatched it and it just feels like oily, and I'm not really too impressed. So this is something else I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of. This, I know it's just expired because I did use it, and they sent this to me like years ago. If there's an expiration date on here, it doesn't say, but I know like it's completely separated. Even if you shake it up, it's just nothing that I want to put on my face at all. So this is the Lancome Belle de Tint Liquid Glow Trio, and I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of that. This is the Beauty Bakery So Icy Illuminator. This thing is just so messy. The packaging is just big for no reason, and it makes a mess. And like I said, I don't really reach for loose highlighters anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. This Sleek Blush by 3 palette. This was in California. If I'm not mistaken, I had more than one of these, but this is one that actually made it through a previous declutter. It is cream products, and I've had this for some years. I never reach for it, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this as well. I just tried to swatch them and they're not even creamy anymore, so it's like expired. And then I just have these empty boxes here of products that you guys know that I use and love. That's in my rotation, but they're Gucci and Chanel boxes, so I wanted them as a part of the display. But let's go ahead and get into everything else that was in the drawer. There was 2 bronzing products in the drawer, both from Wet n Wild. I used to use both of these like faithfully, but I just think they're so old and I never reach for them, never think of them. This one is the makeup stick. This was their contour kind of stick, and I was surprised that it actually did work on my skin tone as more of a natural bronze, but again, that's just an old product that I don't reach for. And then y'all remember this collaboration? This is the Wet n Wild Fergie collaboration. It was their Center Stage collection, and this is the Reflex Shimmer palette. I've definitely gotten tons of wear on it, and it still doesn't feel bad at all. That's it there swatched, and it just brought like a nice bronzy warmth to my skin, but again, nothing that I reach for or think about. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of both of these. Not that they're bad products, they're just old and I don't reach for them. Alright, so going back to highlighters now, I went ahead and zoomed you guys in. This liquid highlighter, this is from Marc Jacobs, and you see I've used quite a bit of it. I've had this for years, and the packaging is, at this point, is like faulty. Marc Jacobs doesn't even make makeup anymore. This is the Marc Jacobs Do You Dewdrops, and I used to like this product, but it dries so fast. You would never use that much because then you'll be walking around looking like Tin Man. But very dewy and glowy type of product, but it's just old. At this point, I'm pretty sure it's expired, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this. The Benefit Was App. Do they even sell this? Do they even still sell this? This was a free sample that I got that I swore I was gonna use, never used it, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this because I'm sure this is expired. Even though I didn't use it, this is like eons old at this point, so I'm gonna get rid of that. I used to have like all 3 shades of this, and this was the one that made it through my Declutter. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Multi-Stick in the shade Light Up My Hibiscus, and it was like a nice pinky, peachy highlighting kind of shade. I don't know why my lighting looks like that. It's actually messing with me. I cleaned my lens, or so I called myself cleaning my lens, and I don't know, it feels like it has like this film on it. So sorry for like the lighting in this video, but that's what that highlighter looks like. I used to wear this a lot. It was a really nice one, and I have no complaints with it. It's just, again, something that I don't reach for. And again, with it being a cream product, I know it's already expired. I mean, this hasn't been out. This is probably like 2017, 2018. Like, I'm telling you, this is super old, so that's the reason I'm getting rid of this one. It's just time. It's made it through previous declutters. Like I said, I had different colors, and it's just time. This is the Luster Drops from MAC, and this was their collection with Rihanna. This is Barbados Girl, and last time I checked this, I couldn't believe it was, I mean, not that I couldn't believe it, but definitely separated and broken apart. This is nothing that I'll actually ever put on my face, but you guys know I just love that whole collection that MAC and Rihanna had did. That was an era in time, but I think it's finally time for me to let this go, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these. I do think it would be good for me to keep at least one liquid illuminator in my collection, so I'm gonna hang on to this iconic London illuminator. I got this in a BoxyCharm last year, and I think I used it in one video one time, I think, if I'm not mistaken, if that video ever even made it up. But it is like a nice, super glowy highlighter, and I can mix it in with foundations, or I can mix it in with like lotion if I'm going out to the beach or something like that. But like, look at that glow. That glow is like serious. They do sell iconic London at Sephora, so I'm gonna hang on to these as the one illuminator drops that I have in my collection. I have some mini samples here. I remember getting these these are Abani Cosmetics. This is their blush. They have a loose blush and a loose highlighter. These were samples that I had got when I went to Chromoy, I think that's how you say it, Chromoy. She had a makeup class here in New York. I went there. This was part of the goodie bag. I held on to these for so long, but honestly, I'll never use them, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of those. Gleam Radiant Dust by Melanie Mills. So this is another loose highlighter. Again, I don't use these, but this was never open, so I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the box for my homegirl. Maybe she'll use it. I don't know if she's gonna be a fan of loose highlighters, so I'm just gonna start her off with this little small thing here. This is the Nars Albatross highlighter, and it does turn and shift into like a, oh, actually, wait, I'm gonna hang on to this only because you'll see in the other drawer I have a highlighter which is supposed to be a dupe of this, and I swore I was gonna put them to the test. I never did that, so I do want to get a chance to do that. So I'm gonna hang on to that Nars Albatross just a little bit longer. I have the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighting Bar. This used to be my jam. I remember this. This is in the shade. Is there a shade? There's no shade name listed on here, but I used to love this highlighter. Nice gold highlighter here. Nice and smooth. And funny enough, I don't really go for gold highlighters too much, but there's like a little hint of peach in this highlighter, and I just thought it was like a good, nice combination for my skin tone. Have I reached for it in the last, what, 3-4 years? No, I haven't. And I don't even think this is one that they sell anymore. If I'm not mistaken, it was limited edition when it came out. So this one I'm gonna hang on to and put in the baby pop, because again, highlighters is just something that is hard for me to let go. I have two here from Physicians Formula, and this is their butter highlighter. I have the shade Champagne, and I have the shade Rose Gold. If I'm not mistaken, Rose Gold was my favorite of the two. You can see I definitely gotten some usage of that one. Oh, and it still feels good too. So that one is Rose Gold. So pretty. Really, really pretty. Champagne definitely had less usage, so I don't think this was a color that no, that's way too yellow of a gold for me. So do I want to hang on to that? I don't really use Physician Formula products like that, honestly, but it really feels so good. See, this is hard, but honestly, I don't reach for them. They are good. I don't even know if they still sell these butter highlighters. If they do and you want to try them out, it's definitely something that I would recommend, because like, look at those swatches, really nice and smooth. But again, I really don't rock with Physician Formula too much, and I don't really see me reaching for it. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of the Champagne, and I'm gonna hang on to the Rose Gold just a little bit longer, just in case I'm doing like a drugstore video where I want to pull out a nice highlighter. This will be an option for me. So now, you can't talk about drugstore highlighters without talking about these Maybelline Master Chrome highlighters. These were my jam. I had like every, oh well, this one is broken, so I think this is gonna be one that's gonna go, because stuff like that just irks me. So this is the Molten Rose Gold, but when that happens, it actually also shows you how much that I actually used it. At one point in time, I used to wear that a lot, but again, it's broken and stuff, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of that one. This one is the Molten Peach, which, did I like this one? I think I like this one as well. So that's what Molten Peach looks like. And they still feel good too. But yeah, that one is just a little bit way... I'm so mad at my lighting right now. Like, yeah, I feel like I'm wasting my time swatching these, because it's not even giving you the true color. I don't know if it's because I'm in front of the window with the ring light. I don't know, but sorry guys. But that's just like a little bit way too warm of a peach for me. So I'm going to get rid of the peach one. And then I have Molten Gold, which was what started it all. We all love the Molten Gold. Again, I don't even really reach for gold highlighters like that anymore. Like, I remember one time I would love this like crazy, but looking at it now, it don't even feel like it would be something that I would reach for. I'm gonna hang on to this just because, again, this is the OG staple, and I do want to keep at least one of them. And then this last one, oh, I used to use this one a lot too. This is Molten Topaz, and this is more of the brown girl friendly golden shade that they had. As you can see, it's a more deeper copper tone looking gold. So I'm gonna hang on to both of those actually from that collection. And then last of the drugstore highlighters, I went a little crazy with these. These are the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighting powders, and I think these are still part of their permanent collection. The first one here is Crown of My Canopy, one of my favorites. Really nice, and that's like a nice pinky peach kind of color. So I'm gonna hang on to that one. This one is Blossom Glow, not really a shade that I would reach for. That's what it looks like swatched there. It's very icy and white, so not a shade that I would reach for. This is Precious Petals, another one of my favorites. And this one, very pretty, light kind of peach kind of shade, champagne gold kind of shade. Really pretty shade. So this one, I'm gonna hang on to that just because it's a OG staple. This one is Royal Calyx. I just bought this as a completionist of the collection, but I'm never gonna wear a highlighter that color. It was like that lavender kind of bluish kind of color, like very, I guess, Euphoria-esque. I don't watch Euphoria, but I would think they would do like a iridescent purple kind of situation like that. This one here is the shade Golden Flower Crown, and I don't think I reached for this one either, but it's more of a nice golden color as well. I just never really reached for it like that, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that one. I'm actually gonna pass this on to my homegirl. She might like that. And then last but not least of the collection, we have Botanic Dream. And this was just another one of those unique kind of shades, which is like a lilac kind of lavender kind of color. And again, nothing that I would wear. So that's that on that. Guys, I'm gonna try to switch this camera up a little bit and see if we can get better lighting, because it's really irking me. And then once we get into the other drawer and everything, I just want to see if I can situate this a little bit better. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Sorry about that. Alright, y'all. So now we're going to go on to the group of blushes that I removed from that drawer. I have one liquid blush from Nars, which over the years I told you about this one cream blush in my collection. This is the Nars liquid blush in Dolce Vita. I absolutely love this liquid blush. I'm about halfway through with the bottle, and I don't care if it's expired or not. There's just some things that I am gonna keep, and this is one of them, so I'm gonna definitely keep that one. I have my two Merit Beauty cream blushes here. One is in the shade Beverly Hills and the other is in Cheeky. I do prefer one shade over the other. So the one I just swatched is Beverly Hills, and that one is just a little bit more transparent on me. But the shade Cheeky is nicely pigmented, a nice berry shade, and I do love that. So I'm gonna keep the shade Cheeky, and I'm gonna actually get rid of the shade Beverly Hills. Now these two ColourPop Super Shock Cheeks, this one is in the shade Pie. I know these made it through my last declutter, but they are no longer, they're actually no longer like creamy. So, oh, this one actually, it's not so bad, but actually it's not a color that I would go for. It's pretty similar to the shade Cheeky, and I do prefer the Cheeky, I do prefer the Merit formula over these, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of these. I have this one Maybelline Fit Me Blush, which I used to wear this thing out. This is in the shade Deep Wine, and as you can see, the top came right off. You guys, I tell you all the time, when my packaging starts falling apart, you know that's how much I used to reach for it. But honestly, swatching it now, well, blush swatches, again, swatches for blushes and things like that, it's not always the best. But I haven't reached for this thing in years. It's broken, it's gonna irk me, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. All these Wet n Wild blushes, guys. Like, if you starting out in makeup, Wet n Wild is one of the brands that I suggest you just go hit their stuff up, because it gives you a feel for like what colors will suit you. Like, even with their lipsticks and things like that, those $3 lipsticks, definitely a jam. And the blushes was definitely a jam as well. So Mellow Wine was definitely a favorite. Heather Silk was a favorite. The Pearlescent Pink, oh look, I got two Pearlescent Pinks because they did go ahead and update their formula. This was a shade that really wasn't a fave for me, whether in the old or the new formula. It does have like a shimmer, a sparkle into it, so those I can get rid of. Now, do I want to get rid of these OGs? Like, I don't even, guys, it still feels like, it still feels so smooth. Look at that pigmentation, like you see it one swatch. Such a good blush. So I'm gonna hang on to that. That one was Berry Shimmer. This one was Heather Silk, another one of the good ones, but this one is like really pink. So I don't really go for like pinky blushes like that, but I am gonna hang on to this just, I don't want to say for the nostalgia of it. This is not really nostalgia, but oh, Mellow Wine was a good one too. But if I did like a drugstore starter kit kind of video, these Wet n Wild blushes would definitely be included in that. So I'm gonna keep 3 out of the 5 blushes that I had from them. This is the Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter. I used to actually use it as like a blush topper, but this is in the shade Rose Gold Lights. And if you can see, like, if you can see that swatch right there, let me see if I can swatch it. Guys, like, that used to be everything. This was one of the products, I swatched it right there so you guys can see, but this is one of the Makeup Revolution products. Like, their highlighters was so bomb. I used to have different colors of this, but this was the one that actually made it through previous declutters. And have I reached it for it since those declutters? No, I haven't. So I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of it, but just know that their highlighters are bomb. I used to have so many different more shades of this, but again, this was the one that made it through previous declutters. And I think the name of this blush is Coral Crush, because that's how much I used to love it. Oh, Coral Cove, I was close. But this is the Milani Powder Blush number 05, Coral Clove. Coral Clove. Why I can't talk? Coral Cove. And I just don't have too many coral blushes, and this was just one that was like my favorite. Every time that springtime came around, I need to clean off my hands because these blushes are starting to run together. But that coral blush, this is something that I would always reach for in the summertime when it starts getting warmer and things like that. So I am going to keep this one because I do love that blush. This one I don't even think I've ever used. This is a NYX High Definition blush, and it's in the shade Summer. I think I got this for free in like one of the makeup show bags or the influencer bags that when we used to go to the shows. So I'm going to go ahead and give that to my homegirl. She loves her some NYX. This is the Milk Makeup Glimmer Glow Oil Lip and Cheek product, and I did try this one time. The pigmentation is just not there. You can see I'm swatching, and that's all the color that we get. It barely has any kind of pigmentation on my face, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. And then last but not least, this is also something that I had got in the makeup show influencer bags they had gave. This is from Obsessive Compulsive Cosmetics. They no longer even have this company anymore, but this was like a cream based product, and I can just see, oh, it's in the shade Grandma, but I can just see through the packaging. I don't know if you guys can see it, but the color did change. I've had it there for so long, never used it. It is a cream product, so it's expired and it's gonna go. So honestly, I feel like I'm doing good with this one, okay. But I think the next drawer is gonna be the hard part, because that's where I keep like all my goodies. So we definitely made a lot of progress on that first drawer. I don't understand what's going on with this lighting. It's really making me mad. But anyway, let's move on to this next drawer. We did good on the first drawer. This is the Morphe Glamour Bronze Face and Body Bronzer. And while I did have my moment with this bronzer, I have so many bronzers in my collection. And I do have a video from, I think, 2020 where I had swatched all the bronzers in my collection at that point in time. And I'm pretty sure this was swatched in that video. I'm gonna actually put this in the maybe pile for now. I don't think I will have to go back to this bronzer to reference it for any good reason, because again, I don't really purchase from Morphe too much anymore. So actually I think well, this is old. This is an older product. It says it has a shelf life of 12 months. I've definitely had it for about 3, 4, maybe even 5 years at this point. So I'm gonna go ahead and get part ways with that one. This is from Artist Couture. This is the Diamond Luxe Luminizer in the shade Honey Drip, and it is a pretty intense, like intensely gold kind of highlighter, but it's really super pretty. So I'm gonna hang on to that one for sure. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Iced Out Highlighter. I featured this one in my Worst Beauty for 2021, but I am gonna hang on to this just for like swatching kind of purposes in case I need to do like a comparison. So I'm hanging on to this one, and of course I'm gonna hang on to the one that I love from Anastasia. This is the Amrezi highlighter, and there's no highlighter like this. It just, the feel is something special, and it's just like a beautiful color. So definitely hanging on to those. This, the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I had a moment with this one, and I was happy that after what, 55 years or whatever the case may be, that they ended up bringing out more shades that will actually fit more skin tones. So mine I picked up was in the shade Endless Summer, and it really is a nice bronzer. Definitely more of an everyday kind of bronzer, but for me, I don't really reach for this. I haven't thought about this bronzer in a long time. I'm gonna put this in the maybe pile only because I do like to have drugstore options. So if I don't have too many drugstore bronzers, I will keep this. I have the Mented bronzer. This one is in the shade Yacht Life, and I don't know, guys, I really wasn't that impressed with this bronzer. A lot of people told me that I would like it, but I don't know. I think I have another shade of it somewhere, and I think I like that shade better. I just can't find it, which is crazy. So I don't know, but I am gonna hang on to this because, you know, it's Mented. I wanna show it some more love. This is the Nars Dual Intensity Blush in Frenzy, and this is another one of those products that I like to pull out in the summertime because of this beautiful coral blush here, and then this highlighter. I think it was just like a beautiful little combination that they had going on in that duo. And yeah, I love this duo, so definitely hanging on to this. And with products like this that's like duos and like blushes and bronzers together, it's weird for me because I don't know if I should put it in the blush drawer, if I should put it in the highlighter drawer. We gonna see. We gonna see about that, guys. Now this here, we have the Anastasia Powder Bronzer in the shade Mahogany, another one of the OG faves when it comes to bronzers. So I'm definitely gonna hang on to that because I do like to dip into this every now and then. Then I have the Morphe Showman's Bronzer, and this was actually in my Shop My Stash during last year, and you can see I've definitely hit pan on this side, but for some reason it's like this side does not budge no matter how much I use, and it could just be that it's just so pigmented with this bronzer that I don't need so much of it. and I would normally just go between the two to mix them. Again, I don't really use Morphe products like that, so this one I am gonna finally go ahead and part ways with. But I feel like I got my money's worth of it because I really did use a lot of it. Like over the years, I've definitely used this many a times. This is the e.l.f. contouring blush and bronzer, and this is in the shade Turks and Caicos. Again, another product, when I first got into like bronzing and everything, this I used to love. I haven't reached for it in so long, and I don't know if y'all can tell, but there's much more of a dip on this side than it is with this one. But I could mix the two if I wanted to, but this one was just a little bit too pinky for me. But you see, it's like it gives you that pink undertone. But this one by itself, e.l.f. been doing it for years. Like, we got to give it up for e.l.f. But this is just old. I don't even know if they still carry this product at this point. If they don't, they should bring it back because it really is a good product. I haven't reached for it in forever. I even forget about it. Actually, I'm gonna hang on to it. I'm gonna hang on to it just in case, you know, I do a full face e.l.f. and something. I would like to have like that bronzing option. Here, oh, this is a Kylie Jenner highlighter that I had got free when they was clearing out a lot of their products from Ulta. I had got it for free in an order that they had sent me. I had never used this, and it's not a color that I would use. It's like a kind of stark white gold kind of highlight. This I kind of feel bad though because it's like brand new. Even though they don't make it anymore, I'm gonna see if I can find somebody to give that to. But then two products from Kylie that I did buy myself. This is the Tanned and Gorgeous bronzer, which in that video, this was in a different drawer when I had swatched my bronzers at that point. This was in a different drawer, so I didn't get to swatch it for you guys. So that's what that looks like swatched. Pretty nice bronzer. I used to use it a lot, but again, they no longer make this. She reformulated all her products and everything, so this is one that I can go ahead and get rid of. And then last but not least, oh, I used to like this blush though. I have the blush in the shade Rosy. Really pretty pinky kind of blush. It just blended out really nicely, but again, she no longer makes these products, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of it. This, oh my gosh, like when you can see the thing is, the words is all rubbed off. When I tell you this was like my everything blush, this is the Jordana Terracotta blush powder. Oh my gosh, like I just swore that one day I was gonna pan this thing, and I just might. I don't know where they even sell Jordana anymore. I remember I got this from like a 99-cent store, and this was just like the perfect everyday kind of blush for me. I absolutely love this blush, so I'm gonna hang on to that one. This is the e.l.f. blush, but it's actually a highlighter for me, but this is in the shade Gotta Glow. This is the highlighter that I was saying was a dupe for the Nars Albatross. So one day I will definitely put those to the test. I'm just gonna hang on to both of those for now. Here I have the Hula Toasted Bronzer from Benefit. Another one of my favorites. I haven't reached for it in a while. Definitely one that I was happy that they came out with deeper shades finally, and for some reason, I don't know why it looks like so dark in there. There's something going on. It's like some kind of film. I don't know. Can y'all see that in there? It's like some film or something that's going on. I don't think it was from my hands being wet. It just looks weird in there. Now it looks a little crazy because I just scratched some of that out. So now I am gonna hang on to this bronzer and try to get more use of it. This is the Fenty Beauty Sunstalker Instant Moth Bronzer. This one is in the shade Thick Mint. And I personally wasn't a huge fan of thick mints. The one I normally go for is the Coco Naughty bronzer. So you can see definitely there is a big jump between the shades. Even though Coco Naughty for me is more of a like an everyday kind of bronze situation, there is a shade that comes in between these two shades, but the shade that came after this was just a little bit too red toned for me, and then this one is just like super deep. I'm gonna go ahead and send this one to my homegirl. Maybe she'll get some use out of that bronzer because she's maybe like a skin tone, or she's like a shade or two darker than I am, so that might work out good for her. But of course I'm gonna hang on to my Coco Naughty, and then I also have my cream bronzer from Fenty, which is in the shade Chocolate, and that's what that looks like. So y'all know already, these are definitely favorites of mine. Now this is something that I've never used. This is another one of those liquid oh no, it's not a liquid, I thought it was a loose highlighter. So this is a highlighter from Juvia's Place. This is their baked highlighter. and I guess it's only one shade. It says the Glow 1 by Juvia's. I'm gonna go ahead and give this to my homegirl as well because I just never reached for that thing, and it's just super big and huge for no reason. Now, another one of those products when I had first started bronzing, when I was like a little scared of bronzing, I would say, but this gave me like that natural kind of bronze, but was it really giving me like a bronze? When it looks lighter than my skin tone now, which is weird. So this, I really love the formula of this one, and I'm not sure, is this the deepest shade? I think this might be the deepest shade of the bronzer that they had. So Lorac, they definitely have some ways to go. This was in the shade Tan Lines. If they would extend the range of these bronzers, I think more people would get more use out of them, because this is a really good formula. But unfortunately, I am gonna go ahead and get rid of it. Now, this cookie highlighter, I was so happy when Benefit went ahead and sent that to me, because I didn't want to purchase it and then end up not liking the shade, but I was pleasantly surprised that this shade did work out for me. So I do love this highlighter. I'll go ahead and swatch it for you guys so you can see. It's like that icy highlighter, but it just, when you blend it out, it blends out so nicely on my skin tone. Like, and I would use it more like a spotlight kind of highlighter. So I would put on the highlight and then I would spotlight like the highest point of my cheekbone or like the highest point of my temple with this highlighter, and it was so pretty. So yeah, definitely hanging on to my cookie. Another favorite, this is the e.l.f. Always Spicy. This is their primer infused, oh no, not Always Spicy, Always Fiery. Sorry, Always Fiery Primer Infused Blush. One of my favorites, one that I like to pull out during the summertime. Beautiful coral, orangey kind of situation. Really pretty blush, absolutely love it. So I'm hanging on to that. Then we have some of the Pat McGrath Divine Blush collection that she came out with. So I have the highlighter here. This is Divine Glow, which this is not one of my favorite highlighters. Golden Nectar, it's okay. I used it definitely several times, but you can see it ended up in the drawer because it's just like a nice, almost like a peachy yellow kind of highlighter. You know, you can't deny her packaging, you can't deny her formula. So I'm definitely hanging on to it. I'm gonna put it in the pile with my highlighters here. And then I have 3 of the blushes. I keep 4 of them on my desk all the time because those are the 4 that I basically go for. But I have 3 here. This is Divine Rose, Love Struck, and Cherish. I'm not gonna swatch these. I do have a full video on my channel where I swatch actually 7. Because here's the other 4, and I'm gonna just put them together just so I can have it for my you know, for my storage and everything. But I did swatch all of the Divine Blush collection that I had picked up from Pat McGrath, so check out that video if you haven't seen it already. Now this is a blush that I had got from Becca. I got this in a BoxyCharm. This is in the shade Foxglove, and this is a really pretty blush. I was really happy to receive this blush in my BoxyCharm. Really pretty color, and it has like that nice, I don't know, there's something about Becca's products that just give you like a nice, beautiful skin looking kind of situation. So swatching it, it really doesn't look like a blush shade that I would go for now. I'm just being honest. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and give that to my homegirl because it is fairly new, so she can go ahead and use that. And I used to have so many more of these Nars blushes, but oh, and as a matter of fact, I have a video on my channel from way back when I swatched a whole bunch of my Nars products, so you can check that out. But these are the ones that made it through the declutter. So I have the Exhibit A blush, which is super pretty, very pigmented, fiery coral kind of shade. Then I have Taj Mahal, another summer staple product that I use, well, that I be swearing I'm gonna use. And you can see all the packaging is all jacked up just because I used to use these like crazy. This one used to be another fave. This is the Nars Bleecker 413. This is the address to one of their stores. So this is the 413 Bleecker Street blush. Really pretty pink. And Nars, they just do their collections right. I don't know, they've always had their blushes right. And then, oh my god, the way I used to use this blush, like Nars Seduction, it actually feels a little rough. And I think that's just because it's gotten air to it because I've used it so much, but this is definitely one of my go-to blushes for fall and winter and things like that. So yeah, hanging on to all 4 of those. Those 4 Nars blushes, just they have made it through previous declutters, and those are just the best of the best for me. So definitely hanging on to all of those. Next up, I have 2 blushes from Hourglass. I have the shade At Night and I have the shade Radiant Magenta. I absolutely love both of these blushes. The ambient lighting powders that's infused throughout the powders of the blushes, so nice. So this one is Radiant Magenta. And then we have the shade At Night, which depending on which swirl you get of At Night, like it gives you something different every time. But it looks really pretty on the cheeks. I don't know if those swatches are gonna, you know, do anything for you, but really pretty colors. So absolutely love these and hanging on to these. Another piece from the MAC Times Riri collection. This was the powder blush in Bad Girl Gone Good. Another one of those shades. Like this used to remind me so much of the Jordana powder blush that I have. Another one of those blushes that you can just easily put on without even thinking about it, and it would go with every look because it's just such a natural blush. So I absolutely love that one as well. These 2 blushes from MAC. This was part of the Archie collection. This is the Veronica blush in Prom Princess. Really pretty pinky kind of blush. Yeah, I don't know when it cut off, but I did go through all my Becca highlighters and I kept them all. And now we moved on to Fenty. I was saying I feel some kind of way as far as getting rid of Fenty products, but this is the Kilowatt Duo in Ginger Binge and Moscow Mule. And anytime I do use this product, I use it on my eyes, which is not what it's intended to use it for. So I'm gonna pass this on to my homegirl and see if she likes these shades. If not, she can go ahead and get rid of it on her end. But this was my favorite. You can see the wording of Fenty Beauty is rubbed off because I used to use this like crazy. But this is the Kilowatt Duo in Mean Money and Hustler Baby, and I absolutely used to love these highlighters. Absolutely used to love these highlighters. Actually, they look kind of yellowy now. This is not like shades that I go for anymore. It's crazy how your taste changes over the years though, guys, right? But I am gonna hang on to it because, you know, if I ever need to do a full face of Fenty Beauty, I need to have a highlighter to go for. And then last but not least in this drawer is just my Chanel Le Beige cream. What is this? The Healthy Glow Bronzing Cream. I actually used this on camera in my Valentine's Day video, so if you haven't seen it, check it out if you want to see how this actually fits my skin tone. But this is the deeper shade of the 2 shades that Chanel has available as far as cream bronzer, so check that video out if you want to see it. And I do have an unboxing and swatching video. I think it was like one of those YouTube shorts, so check that out if you want to see just like a quick swatch, or like I said, you can watch that Valentine's Day video and check it out in action on my face. But of course, I'm definitely hanging on to that. So now my 2 drawers are cleared out. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to end up taking the blushes, highlighters, and bronzers from these drawers over here and moving them into, I should call that like general, what do you call that, general population. I just realized that I have this Pat McGrath, the Pat McGrath Divine Rose highlighter. I have that here on top of my desk as well because this is definitely one of my favorite go-to highlighters. And there's just something like special about it. Like you see, it's not like gold like the rest of them are gold. There's just something special about it. You probably can't see it. I'm so mad at my lighting right now, guys, but I need to go and wash out these. I need to finally go ahead and wash out these acrylic drawers and then put everything back, so you'll be able to see like a little speed fast forward situation of me putting everything back. Alright y'all, so I am back. My inserts are actually clean, so I'm just gonna slide these back in. Now there's these spots on here. I don't know if y'all gonna see it in the camera, but there's spots on here. I don't know, I tried my best to clean it off, but it just doesn't come off. But this is as clean as it's gonna get. I'm gonna start off with the shorter drawer, the one that goes here, and in this drawer I think I'm gonna put my highlighters. So that is all my highlighters. I have all my Becca's over here, my drugstore back there, Anastasia, everything's there. Next drawer we'll do is the blushes. I have the inserts that I had before. I cleaned those out as well, and I got these from Lady Moss. I don't even know if there's still a brand that's in play, but I had bought these from IMAT. So one is a little, these are for the compacts, and you see one is a little bit bigger than the other. I'm gonna go ahead and put some blushes in my... Okay, so that's the blushes that I have there. Alright, so this is what everything is looking like now. I have decided to go through here and take out the blush, bronzers, and highlighters from here because I want to eventually, if you see this is products that I haven't used. I want to eventually move these products into these drawers so they can be sorted a little bit better, and also I'll go ahead and put them into rotation, and then I want to use this big drawer for my Shop My Stash stuff. Oh, Shop My Stash. I'll do a separate video of the Shop My Stash stuff so you can see what I was using, and then I'll put that stuff away into my collection, and then we'll pick out more stuff for Shop My Stash, and it'll end up going in this drawer. But first things first, let's go through these drawers. Bronzers, bronzer, bronzer. That was just a drawer of straight up bronzers. More bronzer. I do love my little LYS drawer, so I'm going to keep this as is. I have some liquid blushes in here that I will take out. This is my Danessa Myricks bronzer. Same thing goes for my, I'm wondering, should I put this with the blushes? I'm going to put the Nars palette with the blushes, but my little Charlotte Tilbury drawer, I'm going to keep that as is. This is a drawer full of cream blushes and bronzers and stuff. I'm going to keep that out. Also, same thing goes with the Fenty products. I like to keep those together. So those cream blushes can stay in that little section there. But for highlighters, I only had 3 for my collection. I think there's another Pat Mcgrath somewhere. Oh, there it is. I'm not going to reach for it now. There's another Pat Mcgrath highlighter over there, but I have the Danessa Myricks Shade Hot Water Dew Wet Balm. Guys, when I put this on, like the glisten that you get, it's like a nice dewy balm. That's exactly what it says. I'm gonna stop swatching stuff because I already told y'all about the lighting in this video. Again, my apologies. But let's put this with the highlighters. Absolutely love my Dior Backstage. This is the Glow Face palette, and this one is in the shade Copper Gold. This was limited edition, and I always use this, so we're gonna put that there. And then this one, this is one that I wasn't sure about keeping. It's still here. Actually, I should give this to my homegirl. This is the Soft Glow Highlighter Makeup by Mario, and I just think it goes on a little bit chunky, but once you blend it out, it looks pretty decent. So it's like super gold, but like I said, once you blend it out on the skin, it does look decent. So I'll hang on to it for now because it's pretty new to my collection. I got mad blushes. I got the Huda Glowish blush that I had used in, did I use this in a recent video? I think I don't know. But I know I've recently been using this blush and I've been enjoying that. I have my favorite, my Nars Orgasm on the Beach palette. Absolutely love this. This was part of my Best of Beauty for 2021. Such a good palette. I have the Juvia's Place Blush Rouge Volume 1, little duo there. I have my 2 blushes from Patrick Ta. One is still in the box. I haven't used it. That's Oh She's Different. And then She's That Girl is one that I would use more in the springtime. I'm going to take this out the box just so I have more access to use it. But this one is Oh She's Different, and it's more for the times now. So I need to start using that in these cooler months. This looks weird. I don't know. Let me try to I don't know, can y'all see that stuff that's on top of there? It's like a layer of white fuzzy stuff. I don't want to say fuzzy. I'm not going to touch it to see if it feels fuzzy, but that feels like it's expired, and I really used to like this. This is the Tower 28 Beach Please After Hours blush, but the way that's looking, I'm not putting that on my face. And I do have another blush from them. Oh no, this is doing the same thing. Look, I don't know if y'all can see them little white spots. I really did like those blushes, but I'm not putting those on my face. That's not happening. So those I'm getting rid of. These Rare Beauty liquid blushes, I have the shade Love and Joy. These are minis that had came in one of the gift sets that they had during the holidays, not last week, yeah, I think it was 2020, but these I like, so I'm gonna hang on to those for sure. The e.l.f. Putty blushes, I do enjoy these. I have two shades. I have Caribbean and I have Maldives, so I'm definitely gonna hang on to those. I have two blushes from Mented. I have Play Too Much, which is a nice everyday kind of natural looking blush, and then I also have Buried Away, which you would think it is like more of a berry tone. Really pretty blushes. I have the Manani cream blush. That don't look too good either, but it don't look like that Tower 28 did. It just looks like hairy for some reason. Whatever brush I had used, probably the hairs came out. That's crazy. But this cream blush is okay. Like, it's not the best. It's a little on the sheer side. I do like the shade though. This is Coral Crush. Oh, so didn't I say Coral Crush before with the other blush? So this is the Milani Coral Crush that I was talking about, but I'm gonna hang on to that for sure. And this is from Kosas. It's a duo. It's Velvet Melon Color and Light Cream. So these are two cream products, and I think I got this from BoxyCharm. I haven't used this as of yet. It looks like I swatched it at one point. It doesn't look like anything that I'll use though, because it's kind of light, on a light side. Like that blush, it's not a blush color that I would really go for, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this one. Last but not least, let's get into these bronzers. Off the bat, I see these two e.l.f. Putty Bronzers. You guys know my dismay for these bronzers. I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of them. I do love my Danessa Myricks cream bronzer though, so I'm definitely hanging on to that. You know, that's a fave. Same thing goes for my Huda Beauty Tantor. Love that. Then I have three of the Juvia's Place bronzing palettes that they had came out with. I have tan, I have dark, and I have dark deep. So hanging on to all those. I was trying to fit this BH Cosmetics bronzing thing into my little drawer here, but that doesn't seem to be working. I'm gonna see what I can do with that. Then my Colored Rain bronzers, absolutely love those. I have a video on my channel swatching those if you want to see that. I have my Gucci bronzer, which I absolutely love. And then last but not least, another love of mine, which is the Christian Dior bronzer. So let's go ahead and put those away. I realized after I put everything, y'all didn't see nothing that I did, so let me just give y'all a look at what the bronzer drawer is looking like right up in there. And I do have slots in here if I wanted to stand more things up, which is cool. So I'll just separate the Colored Rain joints there like that. So yeah, everything is nicely organized. I'm probably gonna insert a little shot here with my iPhone, just so that you can get a better look at what everything is looking like in these drawers. But I'm so feeling so accomplished with the end of this declutter. I have some drawers that's empty. But yeah, I want to thank you guys for tuning into this video. Thanks for spending time with me on a rather lengthy video. So if you're still here, I appreciate each and every one of you as always. Taking the time out of your day to come chill with me. It is greatly appreciated. Let me give you guys a good shot at all the stuff that I'm getting rid of. But this is all stuff that's gonna go in my homegirl's box. Let me go run and put that over there now. And then everything else here in this pile will be decluttered. So another successful declutter, guys. I love to actually see my collection become nicely curated. I get to open up my drawers and be happy about what I have in my collection and just get better use of what I did decide to keep. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Once again, I do apologize for the lighting and the setup and what's going on with this lens. I don't know what it is. Every time I try to do something, I don't know, it's always something that's trying to, you know, the devil always trying to block me, but we gonna push through, guys. So if you're pushing through on this good weekend here, definitely give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to catch each and every one of you on the next video. I'm gonna go ahead and pop up some videos here on the screen for you guys to check out if you missed a couple of uploads. And if you're new here, feel free to binge watch me on this playlist here, get a feel for my channel, and hopefully if you enjoy what you see, you will join the KSQuad family and subscribe to the channel. I hope you guys are having a great weekend and have a great week coming up. And until next time, y'all, hope to catch each and every one of you on the next video. Until next time, y'all, stay blessed. Later, y'all.